Dice roll going on. Handshake, must have. Get it. Deciding on who goes first, and that will start the match. It looks like Micha is starting. Or is it Marco? I'm not sure. Yeah, Marco is going first with a Mathematician. It's definitely the card you want to see in your opening hand if you're playing Shaddolls and going first. Sending Squamata, which will send another one. Sending Falco to the graveyard. Special summoning itself. So that will be a very good start if he has the Shadow Games as well. I'm not sure if he does. It's not a bad start either way, even without the Shadow Games. He's gonna have access to his Squamata with Falco, and that's gonna give him access to everything he wants if he's going for a fusion summon. He's debating on setting any cards. No, he does not have the Shadow Game, so he's just gonna pass over to Micha. He's gonna draw an Emptiness for its turn. That's what it looks like. Can't see much from his hand, only the Emptiness and a few monsters. He's just gonna start special summoning Burning Abyss monsters. That is an Alish. It's a little unfortunate that he has to use Alish that early in the game because it's quite the important card against Winda in the Shaddoll matchup. So if he has to use it right here, that's kind of troublesome, especially depending on if he runs 2 copies of it or only 1. He's probably running 2 though, it's pretty important. But yeah, 1 is gone. So looks like we're seeing the first Dante. Yep. In defense, so he's not gonna attack over the Mathematician this turn. And now he's thinking, do I detach the Alish, which I might need later for the Winda, or do I detach Sir without having a sure target? And this is devastating. He mills the second Alish with Dante. That means unless he's playing 3, which I don't think he is, he will not be able to negate Winda with it. That could possibly be pretty bad for him. So now's the point where we will see if Marco has a Shaddoll fusion in his hand, which will be met with Emptiness, of course, but yeah. Marco thinking about his next play. Let's see. Emptiness is really good here, but Marco has definitely got the advantage right now. So yeah, we've gotten over 100 viewers right now, which is nice. Would be nice if you could share the stream even further, so we could maybe reach the 200 mark. That'd be awesome. It's gonna flip Falco. It's gonna force the Emptiness. Snatch steal. That is gonna be a lot of damage coming in. Milling 3 just for the damage. And the beast is not gonna get his effect because it's sent to the graveyard by a cost, not by a card effect. And we also see Honest in his deck, which is interesting. Is he gonna normal summon another card for more damage? He has another Mathematician, so he can theoretically get rid of the emptiness here. And he summons that. So right now that would be 6,100 damage. So if he has an Shaddoll fusion, this should be game. Just send dragon, destroy emptiness, attack with everything, and fusion summon in the battle phase. But I suppose he would not be thinking if he had an Shaddoll fusion. Might just send Skomata Beast here to get a draw. Seems the most valuable thing here. Yeah, he can only use Shaddoll fusion if he dumps dragon. Yeah. And he does that. Has he got the Shaddoll fusion though? I'm not sure. Not sure. He probably doesn't. Yeah. He's gonna attack though. Everything. Not sure if it's right to destroy the emptiness here. It might give Micha the option to come back. But we'll see what he's doing. Oh, he is running Downer, so he will be able to overlay Dante here, which is good. Eliminates the risk of Snatch getting destroyed and Dante going back to Micha's side of the field. Yeah, he does have an enemy in his field, that's true. Yeah, with Snatch going back to one Downer definitely is an option in Shaddolls. Especially if you're running Mind Control, which Marco is doing. I saw that on his list. He's also running Mind, and he's also running Enemy, so quite a few reasons to run Downerd in this version. So in order to not confuse you, it is actually not 1-0 for Marco right now, it is 0-0 still. Having a few technical difficulties with the life points. The life points are 8,000 for Marco and 1,900 for Micha. Foolish. Got that nice platinum rare. This is Joshua Schmidt commentating. So Foolish sends Graph, special summons Sir. Sir crashes into Downer, probably summoning. Yeah. Yeah, so if downward is attacked, it loses its material, if I'm not mistaken. So he wants the Dante to go to the graveyard. It's actually a good play. He's gonna get his special summon, yep. And then the Dante is also going to grave, so he's getting that effect too. Good play here by Misha. Let's see what it's doing for him, if he can do anything with that Sir. He's also gonna attack the Falco with Graph here, since he's still in the battle phase. So he will not be able to special summon that Sir though, since he already used it with Foolish. Econ. Okay. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna turn it to defense? His plan might be to turn it to defense and then Armades next turn. Or is he gonna tribute Mathematician? That's also possible. That would make it go to grave. Yep. Yeah, that will make it destroy itself, and he will not get the effect because he already used a graph this turn. So in Misha's hand we see now a little bit clearer. He has 2 Fire Lakes, which is kind of bad for him since he does not have 2 Burning Abyss monsters accessible right now. Yeah, that is rough, having 2 lakes in that spot. So well played enemy there, preventing the lakes too. And that should probably be game this turn, if he can summon Armades successfully. He's tributing for Beast though. Interesting, maybe he's not playing Armades. And now he's gonna synchro into Arcanite. Yep. Arcanite getting 2 counters. Destroying the face down, the unknown enemy controller. Interesting. Did he chose not to bring Armades? He probably doesn't have Armades in his deck, which is okay. I didn't run Armades either for a long time, since standard now is 1 Falco, so he's not gonna do it as often. Yeah, if he had Armades, I'm pretty sure he would have gone for it, but he doesn't. So yeah. Okay, so we got the life points and the score under control now. Probably could have left the 1 there though, since that is going to be... He might be able to survive the turn depending on Marco's hand here. Summons Dante in defense position. And that's BLS. That is BLS. And that is going to be game. Thanks. Doing my best. It's my first time commentating, but I'm trying. I would have liked to play though. Since the So I'm being informed right now that both of these are siding out Snatch and BLS to grant a fairer game 2-3. Even though, okay, Marco doesn't want to. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. Yeah, Soldier should be banned. That is true. But it is not, so we have to deal with it. So yeah, players side decking now, and we'll begin game 2 shortly. So yeah, as I said already, Marco all the way from Italy, which is quite amazing to be honest. We are very happy to have players from outside here. We have quite a few big names actually from Italy, Austria as well. We have Long Dao, we have Marco, we have Stefano Memoli, Marcelo Barberi, Federico Sopini, Luigi Alici as well. So quite a few big names from the YCS scene. So yeah. Yeah, commentating a YCS would probably be interesting and fun, but currently I'm much more into playing. Yeah, like if I'm traveling to a YCS, I probably want to play. But yeah, it is fun though. So maybe. Okay. Looks like they're about to be ready for game 2. Thanks. Okay, another pile shuffle. Yeah, maybe. One day I might. Alright, game 2 about to start. If I was the Burning Abyss player here, I would let the Shaddoll player go first. I already said that on our last Shaddoll Burning Abyss match. I think it's better to have the card advantage on your opponent. It also decreases the chance of them opening up with Shaddoll Fusion. And you will be more likely to have your trap cards plus a decent engine. Yeah, well, it's gonna be a long day today. We are at round 5 of 8 and it's gonna be a top 16 cut. So we'll be commentating quite some more. Thanks, I'll try my best. I will try. Denko Zeka here. Not enabled though, since he has a face down. So Denko actually not doing anything other than being 1700. Debating on setting another one, doesn't do it, passes. Micha's hand looks like he does not have much going for him. Can't special anything since he's got a face down, so no, the Burning Abyss player let the Shaddoll player go first. Shaddoll just set one card, passes. Burning Abyss set 1 passes and Shaddoll summons Stanko and swings. That's where we're at right now. That's probably his foolish. That was the platinum rare last time. No, it's actually not foolish, it's book. Now that I see it. Yeah, I don't like platinums either. They're kind of weird. So it will be interesting to see if Marco can get rid of his face down here. If he's like activating an El Shaddoll fusion, that would put him in a great position, since that would disable Micha's face downs. Allure from Marco. Seekers of Eternity. Yeah. I haven't looked too much into it, but will probably be pretty impactful set, especially in combination with the other set coming out next month, the kind of Hidden Arsenal style set, which is going to bring Neckcloth. I think Neckcloth are a pretty big thing. Also the new Clifford cards, obviously, going to change up the meta quite a bit. We will have to see if Shaddolls and Burning Abyss will be able to compete. But yeah, in general, I don't think there's much relevant in the next set other than the Clifford and the Neckcloth stuff. I've heard some stuff about Infernoids, but I don't think they're too great. And yeah. So Marco did summon Mathematician after he banished Squamata with Allure, and sent Squamata and Beast to the graveyard to get a card draw. Also has a special summon of a Viper Burster. It's kind of interesting that he's doing all that while he's having a face down card. Gotta wonder what that face down card is. It would be so much better if he had the back row disabled. And that is a Rubik he runs into. It's gonna completely stop his aggression. 2100 defense. So Marco definitely does not have a fusion or an El Shaddoll fusion in his hand. Otherwise he would have definitely played that. Yeah, Shaddoll will not get anything too relevant. That's my opinion on the new stuff. I don't like the Equip fusion card, and I also don't like the Wind fusion. But the deck is also not losing anything, and it might actually be able to compete with the other decks. As it is right now. We will see about that. Since there are quite a few Floodgate cards that beat Neckcloth, and one of them is Secret Village of the Spellcasters, which is a card that Shaddoll can run, and other decks can't. So that might be something that pushes Shaddoll after the next set. Just some random thoughts I had about Shaddoll's next format. I'd obviously love to play Shaddoll, one of my favorite decks, but we'll have to see if it is good enough. So yeah, Marco in the end ended up having to take the Rubik with enemy controller because it would stop his aggression way too much, and he ends up doing quite a bit of damage here, but also not that great of a game state for him, or board state, since he's not having much. And as soon as Micha gets his engine going, which he's doing right now because he now has a target for Sir, he is going to be able to push quite a bit. If that's another Burning Abyss monster in his hand, which I assume it is. Oh no, it's a Majesty's Fiend. That's also pretty good, if that face down is not breakthrough skill, which it might be. It's one of the few cards that he would have not used until this point. So maybe that's what it is. Or core. If he does not have infusion, it might be core. But even then, with the Denko Sekka, you might have considered playing core just for the damage and to disable the back row. Micha deciding which cards he wants to set from his hand. He's holding a Defusion, a Book of Moon, and an Emptiness. I personally would like to see the Defusion going face down here, because one of the only ways to beat Majesty's Fiend is to summon a fusion for minus, and if he's running into Defusion with that, that's pretty devastating. But on the other hand, there's other outs like Raigeki, Breakthrough Skill, and Snatch, so he opts against setting the Defusion. He's gonna keep it in his hand as an out to Denko Winda lock, which is also a fine decision to take. Yeah, the problem with the Equip Fusion is that you have to basically normal summon a trashy Shaddoll monster, or yeah, in order to perform a fusion, which is not very good because you can't summon Denko, you can't summon Beast over your fusion in the mirror match, so it's kind of weird. As long as you're running core, you will be having access to all the different attributes anyways, so I don't think you will need the fusion. There might be some potential with Hidden Armory though, because Snatch is back and that card, so maybe. I don't think so though. So we will see if the Majesty's Fiend is going to carry him this turn. And as I said, the face down is a breakthrough skill, one of the few cards that actually makes sense for him to have face down there. And that will allow him to resolve his just attacked flip effect monster. Yeah. Let's see what it is. Maybe Squamata Dragon that will get rid of the Majesty's Fiend. And it is Dragon, yep. That will bounce back the Majesty's Fiend. Would have probably preferred to have a Squamata there to destroy it and not bounce it back to the hand. But he already banished the Squamata with Allure and sent the other one with Mathematician, so he will not have another one in his deck. I think he's only running 2. So yeah, that Majesty's is dangerous. It might just come out again and win the game. Since he's also backing it up with quite a few trap cards, so even if Marco can get one turn with Breakthrough Skill where it doesn't apply, there's going to be quite a few of back rows he has to grind through, so he definitely wants a second Denko Sekka here, or in the next few turns. He's having a Mathematician. I also see a Maxi in his hand, which is pretty good. Will be able to stop Micha from any aggression if he happens to draw a tour guide. It's definitely a card that makes you feel comfortable if you have it, which is nice. Always nice to have a Maxi. And he's sending Eclipse Wyvern to the graveyard. That's a card you don't see in every Shaddoll deck, but Marco opts to run it, and yeah, so far he does not have too many darks in his graveyard, so that Dark Arm Dragon might actually still be live. Yeah, I think I'm counting 2 or 3 in his graveyard. So if he has a way to banish the Wyvern, that would be pretty strong. That is a way to get rid of the back row. Micha does have a Karma Cut though, and he does have a way to banish Eclipse Wyvern with the Black Dragon Color Serpent. And let's see how many darks he has. Oh, of course he does have the Color Serpent. He searched it with Wyvern, that's true. But he only has 2 darks in grave, if I counted correctly. So will he have a way to get a third dark in there right now, or will he just wait for his Color Serpent to go to the graveyard? Ich habe kommentieren.
Verzeihung.
Ich habe Schinken. So there's a karma cut on the Mathematician. That's interesting. Interesting choice. Not to run over the, not to banish the Color Serpent, considering it would be the third dark in his graveyard. There's going to be a tour guide search in the end phase from the Scarm he discarded. But we know that that is going to be met with Marco's Max C. Drew another monster for his turn.
Das Deck ist nicht für Krieg gebaut, das ist für alle anderen.
It's probably just gonna summon Tour Guide here. But yeah, I'm not sure if it was right to banish Mathematician. I think it was better to banish the Color Serpent and give him the draw instead of the Surge also. I think it's definitely better to give him a random card from his deck than give him the exact Wyvern, because Wyvern is such a good fusion material. I don't know what's going on right now. He's having some ruling question. The judge is already there. Okay. Tour guides. There is the Maxi. Yep. Tough for Micha. Well, Marco on the other hand is not applying too much pressure either, so he can probably just summon a Graphs or a Scarm here in defense and just pass the turn without Marco getting too much advantage from that Maxi. But it is a good tempo swing here for Marco because he basically makes Micha skip his turn. Marco getting a little bit nervous there because his pizza is getting cold while he has to play the feature match. So he does decide to just go for the Scarm in defense position. And that will probably conclude his turn. I don't think he will go for an XYZ summon here. Yep, he passes. Marco drawing to quite a few cards in hand. Pretty sure it's more than 4. And we actually just hit the timeout. So since we've hit the timeout, the maximum Micha can do here is get a draw if he wins that game. That would put both of them at a 4-win, 1-draw record, which is not too bad, considering we are having 8 rounds of Swiss with a top 16 cut. So 6-1-1 should get you into the cut safely. So they would just have to win 2 more rounds and could afford to lose another. The dragon is going to destroy a card here. That is the 3rd mathematician and it's going to be booked. Yep. So there's the emptiness. No, I didn't like hat format. It was way too basic, way too many face downs, and yeah, it was kind of weird. Yeah, the new Stellar Knight XYZ is pretty good. I heard Rex, lights, and darks. I'm not remembering the exact card effect, but it was something like that. I think you can just overlay it on another Satellar XYZ, just like Constellar Pleiades on Constellar monsters. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, the format was not too bad, but like hat itself was a pretty straightforward and pretty boring deck, alongside with also Gear. Both of these decks were, I didn't like the way they play. I like monster-based decks more than trap-based decks. I really don't enjoy the formats where you have so much trap cards. Okay, so going back to the game, the emptiness looks like it's gonna shut down Marco here, but he's definitely considering something, so he might have outs to it. Can't flip the Mathematician. He can run over the Tour Guide though, which is gonna get rid of the emptiness. Okay, I see a Black Luster Soldier in his hand, which might be able to finish the game in the next turn, since he already went to his battle phase here. Also a Foolish. Yeah, Gear is definitely a very shitty deck to go up against, since it's like either you have the auto armor or you don't, and that was kind of bad. I didn't like it. I like decks like Mermails, Shaddolls, Dragon Rulers.
150, nur so wenig.
Geht voll. Insgesamt über 1000 hatten wir schon.
Wirklich?
Ja, also ganz zusammen, nicht gleichzeitig. So yeah, the Black Luster Soldier is going to come out in main phase 2. So definitely worth for Marco not siding it out, since Micha was saying they should side out BLS and Snatch Steal, but Marco did not agree, and now he has the BLS. He's gonna banish this card. And it's interesting, we see that Defusion in Micha's hand not doing anything this game, since Marco is just not going for fusions. He's just going for Mathematician control, Chaos Dragon control, Black Luster Soldier, and yeah. But you need the card, I think, in the side deck just for the Winda lock. Otherwise, you just scoop to Winda, unless you have the Foolish for Alish. So I agree on playing Defusion, but that's definitely one of the examples why it can be a very dead card. He's just gonna Foolish into a Falco to get it face down, get his board even bigger, and we will see if Michael can top something. Can top deck a card that can get him out of here. He still has that Majesty's Fiend that doesn't really do anything, and that is... Oh, I think that is a card that can save him. Is that Snatch Steal? I think it is. I think it is, I'm not sure. That would definitely be karma after Marco didn't agree on siding it out, and I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, yeah, so he did top deck the Snatch Steal. That will make it interesting here. He does have the access to the mighty BLS. So let's see. Oh yeah, that's a timeout here. Nice little feature we've thought of. It's just some other cards there just to make clear in which timeout turn we are. So this is the first turn of a total of 5 turns. Marco's turn was turn 0, and yeah, gonna play a total of 5 turns now. And that snatch is definitely gonna be huge. It will do damage. I'm pretty sure this game will either be won by Marco, or it will end in the time. I don't think Micha can finish it to 0 life points. I think he can win in time though. So yeah, he summons Majesty's Fiend and then Snatch steals BLS. Pretty strong. That's gonna do decent damage, running over the dragon here. And that will actually a pretty tough turn for Marco here. I'm not sure if he can come back. Another face down also, which is the defusion. So Marco definitely wants an MST here. That would be game sealing. Or any way to get rid of Snatch, basically. And it is the second timeout turn. Yeah, he does have a breakthrough skill engraved, that is right, so he can negate the Majesty's Fiend. But he still has to do a lot of damage here. Well, he's probably still ahead in life. He just took 1200 from BLS over that and then gained 1000 back. So, oh yeah, right. He gets the breakthrough skill for the Majesty's Fiend, and then he can probably just Foolish Dragon for destroying Snatch Steal. So that is actually game. Well, it's not game this turn unless he has another summon, but or he might just have Dragon in hand or engrave. I'm not completely sure how many he used. I see one vanished over there. I think Foolish is still in his hand, or is it? Now that you mention it. Oh, he used Foolish. Okay. Okay. Okay, flips the Mathematician, banishes Breakthrough. And trashes Mathematician if I'm not... Oh, that's desperate. That's pretty desperate. Desperate move. What is it doing? Enemy Controller. That is a good card. Will it be enough though? He can't use it this turn. He will have to survive the next turn in order to use that enemy controller. For your question, you can definitely expect a CCG tournament in the UK, since we're also having a partnership with the Brotherhood, as you probably know. I'm not sure if it will be a major tour stop, but we will definitely be trying to hold regular challenge tour stops there. That's granted, basically. We might come over there with the major tour stops as well. We have not decided on all the locations yet for the major tour stops. It might be the UK. We'll see about that, but you can definitely expect some challenge tour stops over there. Okay, so that's the third timeout turn now. Marco passed. And he's hoping to survive this turn to make a big push with enemy control the next turn. And yeah, as I said, that breakthrough skill didn't do him too much good, since he didn't have a very explosive hand, so he had to waste it on getting a Mathematician crash. So yeah. I'm pretty sure the life is not completely correct here. He probably has a little less life. And it may actually look like the top deck snatch steal will make it for Misha. So Marco entering his last turn in timeout. He does have enemy, which can be devastating on the BLS. Yeah, and that is the game. You can't do enough damage even with the enemy, and that will make this a draw. Pretty rough finish for Marco here as Misha top decks the snatch steal. Kind of deserved though, since Marco did not agree on siding out the card, so he did lose to it in the end. That's what happens. So yeah, we are already quite advanced with the time, so it's probably not going to be a long time until the next round, so stay tuned.